The spread of the coronavirus. The World Health Organization says the risk of the virus expanding worldwide is now classified as very high.
Now, more on that global reaction. Russia announced this morning that it's closing the border with China because of fears over the coronavirus, which has been blamed for at least 170 deaths just across that border in China.
This was in Montreal at a No Frills, and similar lineups happening at stores across the GTA, and we're finding store shelves pretty much bare as a result. Mina Reed actually took this video early this morning.
New York is slowly flattening the curve and turning the corner, but the death rate here remains far, far too high.
For days, shoppers have been urged not to stockpile, but if scenes like these filmed this morning are anything to go by, the message isn't getting through. Items like toilet roll, hand sanitizer and pasta are now increasingly hard to come by as coronavirus-linked panic buying continues. And despite assurances that stockpiling isn't necessary, shoppers we spoke to today said they'd found it hard to resist. Supermarkets say they are working round the clock to fill their shelves. They're asking us to be more considerate when we fill our trolleys.
The world is currently experiencing a deadly infectious disease caused by a severe acute respiratory syndrome, COVID-19.
COVID-19 has become a global epidemic. It has caused fear, anxiety, and confusion among the people.
As of December 2020, the number of people infected by the disease continues to change every day.
While the impact of the disease varies by location, there are now more than 73.2 million confirmed cases of people with COVID-19 around the globe.
According to WHO, more than 1.6 million have died because of this disease.
This is a serious matter, ladies and gentlemen. COVID-19 has affected us more than we can imagine.
We are currently facing financial crisis. Our economy is burdened by financial depression.
Retrenchment is something could not be avoided anymore.
Some of us lost hope, strength, and motivation. This pandemic poses a threat to our mental health.
Every cloud has a silver lining, and there's always a blessing in disguise.
It's a challenging time right now. However, COVID-19 is a tale of two sides.
There are a few lessons that we can learn and look up to during this pandemic.
First, the act of kindness and humanity in economy.
Second, the importance of our mental health.
Third, the power to adapt and adopt.
Our economy is doomed, but this pandemic has shed lights to us in the sense of the importance of kindness and humanity in economic wise. We have learned that the design of our economy is inherently weak and needs re-evaluation. During COVID-19, the poor continues to starve. Giant corporations were forced to deal with the losses. No sales, no revenues, and no profit. What it meant by re-evaluation here is the effective response on saving our economy without neglecting the most affected one, the poor. Hence, we believe that this pandemic has taught us that the balance of the economy also must put focus on humanity, as it is predominantly important in making sure nobody is left behind. The most important thing to look now is the redistribution of wealth can help to ease the burden of the poor. It doesn't necessarily to be in the sense of increasing the tax for the rich by the government, but it may in the forms of alms and sadaqah. In this unprecedented situation, it is a great move to redistribute your income and wealth to the needy. Economic inequality has been a norm among the society where the rich continues to be rich and the poor continues to be poor. And this is inhuman, ladies and gentlemen. COVID-19 taught us that income redistribution will help to reduce poverty and lower the inequality faced by the poor. For instance, in Malaysia, the closest example is Ustad Abid Liu, where he provides supports not consist of merely cash, but he offers job, shelter, training and education to the less fortunate people. The freelance preacher Abid Liu are making headlines all over the net. In short, the predominant lesson of this pandemic is humanity, and the act of kindness is very important elements in economic, as it can change the world and saves life.
During the outbreak of COVID-19, we realized that our health is one of the most precious things that we have right at this moment, as any single bad outside element can literally deteriorate our bodily health. Aside from only putting more value on our physical health, we have to admit the fact that our mental health is also very important for us to function normally and is worthy of our attention. These home confinement directives from the government are generally new to most Malaysians. This includes stay-at-home orders, quarantine, and isolation that are being utilized to help in breaking the spread of the virus. Because of this, there has tend to be some element that can stress out a person, and it can be from various specific reasons such as financial losses, inadequate home supplies, difficulty in medical care or medications, loneliness or family problem. Because of this, Malaysia has seen a rise in suicide cases or near suicide cases during the pandemic, as prolonged uncertainties have put many people under immense distress. This has shown that the pandemic has not only affected our bodily health, but also our mental health. All of this goes to show that mental health is genuinely crucial in our life. We have learned that it is going to take all the support and mental encouraging a person could get to figure things out and to get back on the right track of mind. We have also learned that anyone should feel free to reach out to loved ones or professionals if the need is there, because it can be so easy for a person to spiral into a bad place mentally.
The first week of the lockdown brought many of us to the edge of panic and despair. No leaving our homes unless it's absolutely essential, work from home for the foreseeable future, kids home from school without playdates, indoor attractions, or even playing at the playgrounds. It all seemed so impossible, and many of us wondered if we make it past that first interminable day. And then one day passed, and we realized we hadn't lost it. Well, not completely anyway. Another day went by, and then a week, and somehow we were doing it. We were rolling with these strange new circumstances, adapting to a new routine, a new way of life without falling apart. And many of us were even thriving under the newer, relaxed routine. We were riding out the lockdown like champions. Of course, there are those with especially trying circumstances and some who have suffered mightily. Be mindful of this and empathetic as we encounter and interact with others. Let's not forget what the lockdown taught us about our resilience, strength, and courage. When pushed into challenging situations, our true colors shine. 2020 has been a year unlike any we've ever seen. Let's use these technique circumstances to grow in ways we never have before. In short, this pandemic had really shed the lights to adapt and adopt with the current challenges and obstacles.
Sometimes it is hard to see the hidden sunshine behind the dark clouds. But with firm conviction of hope, faith, and time, the sunshine will always brighten us and the world over and over again. Hence, keep your head up and don't ever give up in flattening the curve of infection.
We firmly believe that the current global pandemic has led to a new introspection where the act of kindness and humanity play significant roles to realize that the secret of happiness in this life is actually giving back to the community. Second, mental health is important because it's a vital part of your life and it impacts your thoughts, behaviors, and emotions, especially during this unprecedented COVID-19. Third, COVID-19 has proven that humankind must learn in adapting and adopting with challenges, obstacles, and hurdles in order to survive. One mistake could eventually harm us all.
Life is a lesson. Everything can end tomorrow. But at most important here is have we learned our lesson. When all of this is over, the world will continue to spin and flow as per usual. So be mindful and grateful for what we have now. There's no rainbow without rain. Life is unpredictable. Keep your head up and have faith. Surely we will win this war together.